be hard to be positive, especially at the moment, but science says it's in your best interest to give it a try. Several studies have linked greater optimism to a lower risk of developing cardiovascular disease and other chronic ailments.
Optimism isn't quite the same thing as simply being happy. Optimism has more to do with how you see the world and, more importantly, how you're able to cope with what life throws at you.
Being optimistic allows you to live your best life despite unfortunate circumstances. It allows you to handle stressful situations better, which reduces the harmful health effects that stress has on your body.
Pessimists, on the other hand, bathe their bodies in damaging stress hormones like cortisol and norepinephrine all day long, and as such, increase body-wide inflammation. There's also evidence to show that pessimism is a likely contributor to low self-esteem, anxiety, and depression.
Optimism and good health go hand in hand. Someone who is inherently optimistic is more likely to place their health as a high priority. But that's not to say feelings of optimism and positivity can't be learned.
It's never too early or too late to foster optimism. Everyone has better mental and physical health outcomes when they're optimistic. Pessimism is one of the personality traits that's highly heritable but also modifiable. In other words, you can blame your parents for your bleak outlook, but you don't have to resign yourself to it forever.
To foster more optimism, the first thing to do is to exercise your optimistic muscles. By this, I mean thinking about what your ideal life would look like. In other words, visualize your best possible self. This may sound a bit whimsical, but there are a lot of studies that show imagining your ideal future can actually boost your levels of optimism.
And it works because you focus on all your dreams coming true as opposed to worrying about the worst possible nightmare of an outcome.
It can be difficult to remain positive when dealing with day-to-day stresses, but a good way around this is by keeping a gratitude journal. Writing about what you're grateful for not only boosts your optimism, it has other impressive health benefits too, which include sleeping better and an improved mood. It can be anything: a cup of coffee, a random act of kindness, or even breathing in fresh air.
Positive thinking doesn't mean that you ignore life stresses. That would be crazy. You just approach hardship in a more productive way. Decide on what you can and what you can't control, and avoid the temptation to replay every bad thing that happens to you.
Without beating yourself up about what went wrong, your self-esteem improves. Healthy self-esteem builds confidence, and when you feel confident, it's more easier to feel more optimistic about life, even a COVID-19 one.